choose your man, choose your trade-off. Today we're going to talk about the pros of a more softer feminine man. So sit down. Let's be honest and let's be grown. When I say softer, more feminine man, I am not calling him weak. I am describing the energy. He's usually more emotionally led than mission led, more relational than directional, and then more feelings first than solutions first. And yes, there are pros to dating that type of man. Pro number one, he is easier to access. With softer men, you don't feel like you have to earn their attention. If you want closeness, it's there. If you want to talk, he'll talk. If you're feeling emotional, he's not sitting there like, all right, wrap it up, wrap it up. He leans in, and that can feel very good for a woman whose nervous system is tired of feeling like she's too much. Pro number two, he makes love feel tender. Softer men can be very affectionate in the way that feels very emotionally warm. Not performative, not let me prove I'm the man. Just soft. And for some women, especially women who grew up having to be hard, that tenderness is healing. Because it's not love that feels like pressure. It's love that feels like permission to breathe. Pro number three, if you're a woman who naturally leads, this dynamic will feel very smooth for you. Let's just say the quiet part out loud. Some women don't want a man leading everything. They want to lead. They are more in their masculine energy. They like being the strong one. They like being the decisive one. They like being the planner. And in my opinion, she thinks that she likes it, and it's a trauma response, and there's other factors that play into that. So she's very dominant in that role until you realize how much it depletes you over time. But I digress. That's another video for another day. When you're with a softer man, you're not fighting for control. You already have the steering wheel. For certain women, that feels peaceful and not exhausting. Pro number four, he's easier to build with emotionally. Because he's more emotionally available, it can be easier to have heart-to-heart conversations with him. Not because masculine men can't, but because softer, more feminine men tend to live in that space naturally. So when you're trying to talk about emotional dynamics, insecurities, relationship fears, he doesn't act like it's an inconvenience. He is in it with you. And some women experience that as real intimacy. Pro number five, the relationship can feel like a friendship and romance at the same time. Softer men often bring a companion vibe. And not to say that masculine men don't, so let's not get that twisted. But with softer men, you feel like you're with someone who's emotionally there. Like, it feels like, you know how like your friends understand you emotionally? He's going to feel like one of your homegirls that understands you emotionally. And for women who value emotional connection as a main currency, that is a big pro. Pro number six, he can feel safer if you don't trust masculine leadership yet. And if you have a trauma around with men, he'll feel safer. And this is the part that women don't want to admit. If you have been through controlling men, inconsistent men, or you don't trust being led because you still have a lot of resentment and hate towards men in your life and you haven't fixed that issue, a softer man can feel like a safer entry point because you don't feel overpowered. You feel like you have room. You remember how I told you that dynamic between your man being your therapist? A softer man is going to feel like more of your therapist. You feel like you can breathe without worrying that someone is trying to dominate you. And for some women, especially in certain seasons, that matters. Pro number seven, he can be a mirror for your emotional world. Softer men are more emotionally expressive. They are more emotionally vulnerable. They're okay with being more vulnerable. And for women who want a partner that meets them in emotions, that mirroring can feel like finally, someone who finally understands how intense feelings can be. Like I said, softer men are usually more comfortable showing their emotional side. They're okay to admit when something hurts. They will admit when they're struggling. They're not always trying to maintain an image of being completely unshakable. And for women who value emotional honesty, that can feel very real. The internet loves to argue about masculine men versus feminine men. But the truth is that every man comes with a trade-off. Feminine men tend to bring a lot of emotional depth in relationships. They're expressive, empathetic, communicating, nurturing. They notice your moods, they talk through things, they hold emotional space. And for some women, that level of emotional intimacy feels extremely fulfilling. Now, here's the nuance that most people miss. A healthy masculine man can absolutely give you empathy, affection, communication, emotional support, but usually not in the same magnitude or frequency as a feminine man. Why? Because masculine energy is usually more solution oriented and directional. Feminine energy is actually more relational and emotionally expressive. So when the emotional expression becomes very high, sometimes it can start to feel like you're dating another woman. And depending on the woman, that either feels comforting or overwhelming. This is why choosing a partner is always choosing a dynamic, not just a person. So the real question isn't which one is better. The real question is which dynamic allows you to thrive. And most importantly is who are you inside that dynamic? Because the type of man you attract and keep is deeply connected to your nervous system, your standards, and the energy that you lead your life from. And that's exactly why I created the Feminine Reset, to help women reconnect with their softness, their self-trust, and emotional regulation, and their sovereignty, and their autonomy. That's why I created the Feminine Reset. And stay tuned because something special is cooking. And I created the Provider Magnet to help you understand the psychology of men who naturally invest, pursue, and provide. And both of them are in my bio if you're ready for that level of awareness. But even if you never buy from me, learn this. Choosing a man is choosing a relationship ecosystem. So choose wisely. Okay, goddess? I hope this video helped. I hope it gave you clarity, and I love you. Mwah. Bye. Also, stay tuned for the next video because in the next video, we're going to talk about the cons of a feminine man. Okay? I love you. Mwah.